Significant figures don't always have to be the bane of your existence in chemistry. Let's make them easy. First, all digits that are not 0 are going to be significant. This is your easiest rule. That means numbers 1 through 9 are always significant. Therefore, 234 meters has 3 significant figures where I'm going to abbreviate significant figures or significant digits as SF. 58.9 grams, 3 significant figures because all of those digits are not a 0. Next, let's go to our second easiest rule. These are about sandwiched zeros. Zeros that are stuck or confined or sandwiched between two non-zero digits are going to be significant. Over here, this first example, therefore, has 4 significant figures. Now, the quantity of sandwiched zeros does not matter. So if you have 2 sandwiched zeros, those both are still going to be significant, along with the 1, 2 non-zero digits to make a total of 4 significant figures. Now let's look at numbers that are less than 1. In numbers that are less than 1, you're going to have these zeros out in front. These zeros are called leading zeros. These zeros are often holding a place, with the exception of this one. You could ignore that one completely, but the rest of them, here, here, and here, are all holding a place. That means that in this middle example, you are being told that the 0 here and here and here in the tenths, hundredths, and thousands place, that there is no mass in those positions. Therefore, those zeros are not significant. If we go back up to the first one, that means we have 3 significant figures in this example, and in the middle one, only 2 significant figures. In both of these cases, the significant figures are just the non-zero digits. Our third example has a mixture now. We have those leading zeros, which are not significant. We have a confined or sandwiched 0 that we have learned is significant. Now the question becomes, what do we do with these zeros at the end? These zeros are what are called trailing zeros. Trailing zeros work like this. When you have a decimal point in the number, you find your decimal point if your number is less than 1. You read like it's a book from left to right. You find your first non-zero digit, and everything after that is going to be significant. So those 2 zeros that are underlined in green are from the precision of the measuring device. This is telling you that you are certain there is no mass at those 2 positions. That means we have a total of 5 significant figures for that example. Now we're going to switch to numbers that are greater than 1. In numbers that are greater than 1, we're going to use a similar idea. We're going to read our values like a book. We're going to start at the left. But now, in a way, it's easier. If there's a decimal point in the number, your first non-zero digit should just be the first number because you have something greater than 1. And if there's a decimal point, everything, including all of the zeros to the right of that, are going to be significant. That means we have 4 significant figures for this example because this trailing 0 is significant due to the decimal point. In our next example, I'm illustrating that it doesn't matter the quantity of trailing zeros. You start on the left, you find your first non-zero digit. When you have a decimal point in the number, everything to the right of that is going to be significant, which makes 5 significant figures. Numbers greater than 1 can have more variance, so let's look at another page of examples. Here, these first 2 are similar to what we've seen, except the zeros are going to be in the tens and the ones place. We're going to use the same idea. We have a decimal place in the number, we find our first non-zero digit on the left, and then everything to the right will be significant. Therefore, 4 significant figures for the first example. Notice how in the middle example we've left off the point 0. That means we have 1 less significant figure. We're using the same tactic. We're finding the first non-zero digit. which in numbers greater than 1 should be the first number on the left. And then everything past that, as long as there's a decimal place, is going to be significant. When we get to 3,400 grams, this is where things get tricky. And honestly, there's two ways to do this one. And you need to be in charge of seeing what your textbook and what your teacher wants. So I'm going to do way number 1 first. So way number 1 is to say, no, you're not allowed to write it that way. So some textbooks and some teachers say that is not clear enough, because you could be saying that both of those zeros are not significant when you write it in scientific notation. Or you could be saying one of them is significant. Or you could be saying both of them are significant. So some instructors and some textbooks are going to say, you just simply can't write it that way. Pick one of these 3 ways to write it and stick with that. But honestly, most textbooks and most instructors do a different way. So here's way number 2. They say that if there's no decimal place in the number, then none of those zeros are going to be significant. And instead, your 3,400 grams, when you use the pattern we've been doing, start on the left and go this direction, and this time you have to stop at the 4 and say, I only have 2 significant figures because there's no decimal place in the number, so these 2 zeros will not be significant. Most people end up using way number 2, but you need to look at your notes for your class and find out which way your professor wants you to use. Let's wrap up with some practice. Here are 4 practice examples. Go ahead and pause me, try these 4, and then we'll compare our answers. Now that you've had time to think about them, let's compare. The first example shows the first rule that all non-zero digits are significant. The second example shows the second rule, which is that confined or sandwiched zeros are significant. The next example shows that leading zeros are not significant. And the fourth example shows that trailing zeros are significant when you have a decimal place in the value. So again, leading zeros are the ones that come before your first non-zero digit in a number that's less than 1. And trailing zeros, which are these ones, can be in 2 situations: numbers greater than 1, like this example, or if we changed it, it would be these that are at the end in numbers that are less than 1. Here's a quick summary of all the rules we talked about in this video. Hopefully significant figures are feeling much more manageable now. Don't forget to put in lots of practice. Thanks for your attention. See you in the next one.